Hey guys, welcome to Massive Iron Live, the Massive Iron Podcast, the biggest podcast on planet Earth, the strongest podcast on planet Earth, and the self-proclaimed fittest podcast on planet Earth. It is Friday, November 5th. Glad you guys are here. I'm here every Friday at 11 Eastern. So please write it on your calendar, tattoo it on your forehead. Do whatever you need to do. So, a couple quick announcements before we dive in. If you're new here, please post up your questions. There are no dumb questions, only stupid questions. So if you're new, don't be shy. Post up your question. I'll be giving away 3 t-shirts today. 3 to random posters. Okay, random questions. So if I tell you you won, you have to go over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, and message me. You can also email me, benthebarman@gmail.com. Now, I'm going to talk about GVS, Geoffrey, Verity, Schofield. I did a podcast with him. He's not on this live. The podcast is releasing on Monday, but I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. Before I do so, let's talk about YouTube. YouTube doesn't always post your questions, and it's not me throttling you. It's not me ignoring you. It's not me deleting questions. So if your question doesn't go through, try shortening it. If that doesn't go through, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, and slide into my DM just like that. And post up your question. I'll try to read it. Okay, so, all right, let's talk Geoffrey, Verity, Schofield. If you don't follow him, head over to his YouTube channel and search Geoffrey, Verity, Schofield, Geoffrey, Verity, Verity, Schofield, Schofield. But you didn't think I could pull that off. All right, so head over to his YouTube and his Instagram and follow him. We had a chance to do record a podcast Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Sleepy time for me, probably later in the evening for him. But we got about an hour and 20 minutes of really good stuff. So I want you guys to tune in on Monday. That's going to be releasing Monday morning, so look for it. If you do not know where to find my podcast, head over to my website, superlivingtoday.com. In the menu, there is a podcast tab. You can either scroll down a little bit and listen to the podcast directly on there, or you can go over to Spotify or Podbean and search Massive Iron, the biggest, hairiest, ugly dude. So we had a lot of really good conversations, and it was a pleasure having him on the podcast, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So one of the best episodes I've recorded yet, and I hope to have him on again. All right, let's dive into things. I got a light. I got the sun blaring right in my eyes today, so if I look a little bit weirder than normal, I can't help it. All right, so we had a thing going on where Stian said he was going to try to beat Stein today as a first poster. Now, I don't know how Stein does it. Not a lot of things in life baffle me, but the second I released this video, like the second I posted a live video, Stein's up in here messaging, like literally a second afterwards. I don't know how he does it. And you probably have to join his inner circle to figure out how he does it. But sadly, Stian did not beat Stein in the Battle of the Stas. Victory is Stein's. And Stein says now it's just for fun. Stein is the champion. 3 Days Grace says Stein 1, Stian 0. And Richard Murray from Scotland, hey guys, Stein the Wizard does it again. Indeed, he did. Ello says can't wait anymore. And Yush, Stein with the madness again. Stein is the king. Before we get in, guys, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Give a shout out to where you're watching from, I'm going to let you know something. This weekend, if you're interested in coaching, there's going to be the special of all specials. All these early Black Friday things and all that kind of crap aside, I'm going to be running a special. Last year I did Team Massive for coaching. A lot of people to sign up for a full year. I'm going to be doing that again this year, but I'm going to be doing a big special. A special. And it's going to be basically anyone that signs up for a year is going to get 5 free months. So watch for that this weekend. And I'll explain how that's going to work. There's no gimmicks. Basically, you're going to get 5 free months when you sign up for a year. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be announcing that this weekend. Comically Large Chungus. Excited to see GVS. GVS will be, as I said, I'll be announcing his podcast. It'll be coming Monday morning. Tune in on Monday. Watch my Instagram at Ben the Barman. That's probably the best place to check it out. BKS Gaming, hello, how's it going? And Stan tuning in says, I blame the kids. I had to help them. And my response was sure. Blame it on the kids. So again, guys, I'm going to be giving away 3 T-shirts today to random posters and questions. So post up your question, any question, off topic, anything really, as long as it's not crude, rude, or overly obnoxious. And we'll dive into it. Comically Large Chungus said poggers. Stein with the first question of the day. Is it better to take a week of easier training or take the free from the gym as deload? It really depends on the situation. Every situation is different, and do I like scheduling week-long deloads? No. I like to leave deloads for times when you have vacation, for times when you're doing, like I have a client right now that's moving house. So that's a good time to take time away from the gym. Maybe you just finished a semester in school and your brain is wow, right? That might be a good time to take a week off. Or if you're feeling beat up. I would just take a few days away from the gym completely. There's many ways to slice and dice it. Then you could go back and do like deload workouts. So, Stan, I wish there was some way to, magically give you one answer to rule them all. But, it really depends on the situation. Paul Velasquez. Hey, Stein, I win. I'm early for next week. Yeah, right. Nice try. Paul says, on week 5 or 6 of your bench cycle, hard not to do extra sets. It is. It is. And that's part of the challenge of sticking to a program like that. Hard not to do extra work. Hang tough. Comically Large Chungus, do you prefer sleeves, or wraps? I just got elbow wraps, and I'm excited to see them. Kind of a different thing. So wrist wraps, well, it's not a different thing if you use elbow wraps. I've not seen anybody use elbow wraps. I've seen people use elbow sleeves. So wrist wraps I'm a big fan of. At a point in your benching and pressing, there's a lot of pressure that can be put on your wrist. And adding a little bit of stability to that area is a good thing. So I'm a big fan of wrist wraps. And you'll get some people that'll say, when you take them off, there's going to be some inherent weakness. Well, don't take them off. You get to a point in benching, it's probably a good idea to leave them on during your bench set. As far as elbow sleeves and knee sleeves, I personally do not like them. Mileage may vary. I'm not saying you shouldn't use them. I do not like them. I do not really feel they provide value for me. And I hate the feeling of having them on. With regards to like knee wraps are something that can be extremely tedious, but I wore them for many, many years. You have to basically wrap before each set, and that can become a pain in the ass. So if you're wrapping your elbows, you're kind of in the same situation. If you're not, to get a reasonably snug wrap, you might have to wrap before each set. So I'm not sure what you're doing there, but I'd be curious, Mr. Comically Large Chungus, why you're deciding to wear a wrap or an elbow sleeve. Are you having issues? Just trying to keep things warm, etc. Paul said, I asked my wife for Team Massive subscription for Christmas. Your good wife, if she has any issues, tell her to speak directly to me. I'll tell her the 284 reasons it's a good idea. So, Paul, I'm going to give you a free T-shirt. I'm giving away 3 today. Paul, I'm going to give you away a free T-shirt. If you have a T-shirt already, I'm going to give you a flag. If you have a flag already, I'll give you something else. But Paul, message me. Email benthebarman@gmail.com, Instagram @benthebarman, or any other way, etc. Harut, hey gang, what's going on, Harut? KDDW1224, is it live? I believe so. And look, I got my space heater going on over here. So let me know. Can you hear it? Can you hear that white noise? Is it bothering you? Is it too loud? Let me know. Nigel, hey, big, hairy, ugly dude. Glad to be on listening. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Adhar, top 2 tricep exercises. Good question. My favorite exercise is my favorite 2, probably our cable tricep extensions and skull destroyers. I like those 2 exercises. I believe single arm tricep extensions are good for the short head of the tricep. I just like cable tricep extensions. I feel like it's a good exercise. I can have, I don't have long periods of time rest in between sets. I believe there's a lot of room for progressive overload, and you can do a lot of fun things like run the rack, run the stack, drop sets, and all that kind of stuff without a real pain in the butt. And if you guys have not seen skull destroyers, they are basically, you put weight on an easy bar and you try to get to 30 or 40 or 50 reps. So you'll do 2 or 3 reps of skull crushers, and then 2 to 3 reps immediately of close grip bench, and you keep alternating. And then if you come to a point where you're just fatigued or gassed, you have the bar resting on your chest for a brief moment, and then you get back to business when you feel ready to go. Real good tricepticon pump, real good exercise. I just like it. It's something I created. So I didn't create many exercises. That's one I created. Felix79, happy Friday from Colorado. How's it going, Felix? And James, if you program 3x10 with one set being a progression marker, would you increase weight on all 3 sets when you hit 10 on set 1, even if set 2 and set 3 are only 9 and 8? No. What I would do is, first off, a progression marker is like, for those wondering, is when you hit a certain rep range on a set, that means you're progressing right. When you hit a certain rep total on a set, that means you progress in weight. So in a 3x10, your progression marker, you could do it both ways, James. You could do the first set as 10 or the last set is 12. So when the last set is 12, it could be 10-10, and then when you hit 12 on the last set, you progress. For those of you that like to slide it in at the front, if you could do 10 on the front set, but then on the next 2 sets, you're basically going to have to push those for max reps. So the difference is when you do the 10-10 and then max reps on the last set, you're only doing 1 set to near failure. When you do it the first way, or with the first set as a progression marker, you're basically doing 3 sets to failure. Does that make sense? Fish edits. Does tempo on the concentric phase matter? Yes, it does. And let me explain. First off, we want to consider control. Okay. Are you controlling the weight? Now, we don't have to slow it, but we're talking about beating up our joints and beating up our connective tissue and everything else. So You ever see guys that just curl like this, right? You know, or they look like they're trying to sprint through a set, or somebody doing like close grip bench press, you know, and they're like, slow down, buddy. Is this the first time you've had sex? If you don't control the weight is controlling you. So you want to have a reasonable degree of control, okay? That helps take out a lot of the instability and pressure, and that's going to matter as you get stronger, okay? So we want to control the eccentric phase. Now, does tempo on the concentric phase, the pressing, matter? No, it does not. Hope we got a dog break in. It does not. The concentric phase is the explosive phase. And that word's going to, piss off some of you. But when you're in the hole on a squat, you have to explode out of the hole or else you're not going to move the weight. If you don't explode the bar off the floor on a deadlift, I got a dog in my ear, you're not going to get the weight up. If you don't explode the weight off your chest, generate power, you're not going to get the bar up. So focus on, during the concentric, focus on controlling the weight, but powering it up, if that makes sense. All right, before we got the next question, we got
this little man.
This is Mr. Noops.
He's big and strong.
Yes.
Where's Big Bubba?
This is Mr. Noops. This is my puppy. Mr. Noops sleeps by me every night, right, Mr. Noops? Can you say hi to the world? This is Mr. Noops.
And I have the big boy.
And there's Bubba Sausage.
Yeah, the big boy.
Oh, you're in the wrong way.
I know. I don't know.
There's Bubba Sausage, and this is Mr. Noops.
There he is. Oh,
Bubba's her sausage dog, and Mr. Noops is mine.
Yeah, my Bubba's a big.
You're in early.
Big boy. Oh, well, we just had all our appointments, and then we had the postman come, and then we tried to eat the postman, so we decided just to come for a visit.
Say hello, Mr. Noops.
He's cute.
Yeah. I say, could you bring in my other purple monster?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on, boys.
All right. I hope that helped, Fishette. It's at first I read it as eccentric, but tempo, don't overly focus on tempo during the concentric. There are some exercises like isolation and machine exercises where you can control the on your real big compound movements, barbells and dumbbells. Obviously, you want to control them, but you don't want to slow them. Thank you. On your things like pec deck and things like that, where it's not as physically abusive, you can control them more and feel the muscle a little bit. So that's probably not a bad thing. James Helbro, do you have any interest in English football? No, I do not. We just not something that I see come across my radar a lot. So it's hard I don't even know the teams. In America, you have to actively search things like that out. It's like NASCAR racing. I don't know who the drivers are because I don't see it. Mainly these days, I don't have a lot of free time for sports. So baseball is my sport. I love baseball. Baseball is my obsession other than lifting. I just enjoy it. It's a game I played when I was young, and I'll forever enjoy it. And that's kind of where I funnel my free time. Ruben from Laredo, Texas. Nigel from France. Rafael de Souza. Hey, yo, your podcasts are killing it. Thank you, sir. Hello from the great free state of New Hampshire. What's going on? Hey, from Atlanta. It's going to be crazy in the city this weekend. It is. My wife actually watched the baseball game, the last game of the World Series, which I give her credit because she's Australian and still learning to love the sport that I love. But it was, it was a good series. They played really well. That's the thing about baseball. It's a long, long story, a long season, and it never ends the way you think it's going to end. Yari is able to increase his strength enough with 10 to 12 reps. I think the question is, are you able to do strength increases or increase your strength in the 10 to 12 rep range? Absolutely. Any rep range is good for strength. I never dipped below 5 or 6 reps for over 20 years. And by that time, I had 95% of the strength I had when I was powerlifting. So, yeah, it's actually easier to increase strength in a little bit higher rep ranges. So, Nigel, watching from my garage gym, hitting some deadlifts currently. Good luck, Nigel. And hit a PR for us. Alternatives for power cleans. So not really a fan of power cleans really for hypertrophy. I'm not saying they're a bad exercise. Just, hey, if you want to work them in, go ahead. We don't have to always, just be straight hypertrophy strength workout type of guys. But really, you can do whatever you want. After deadlifts, I do dumbbell or barbell rows, seated cable rows, lat pull downs, pull ups, whatever you want. You don't really have to do power cleans. So any conventional back exercise will work. Luli from Romania, how's it going? Kriakos Christoforou, did I pronounce that okay? How do we know that a lack of progress comes from simply getting too used to a certain program exercise? That's not it at all. You do not get used to a program or exercise and then progress slows. That's not it at all. It's actually the opposite. When you get used to a squat or more efficient at it, your performance tends to increase. The first few months of it, or first few weeks of a new program, you're usually getting adapted to the demands of the new program, and progress is not as efficient. Once you get used to the demands of a program, then you become more efficient and more productive. So how do we know that a lack of progress comes from too used to a program? It doesn't. Exercises, it doesn't. I've been doing the same exercises for 35 years. You need to get strong on them. That's the important thing. You're not going to get used to squats and not get anything out of them. That's not true at all. So just keep that in mind, guys. Harut, remember the 5th of December. Anyone who hasn't seen V from Vendetta should do so this weekend. The second time I've seen that quote today, so you're on it, Harut. Ruben Cardenas. Any idea for helping to curb cravings during contrast prep? Wow, that's a good question. And I don't know if you have a coach, Ruben, and I'm not petitioning to be your coach, but your coach, if you do have a coach, you might have a certain structure during contest prep. Cravings. The main thing is food volume. It's really critical you maximize food volume. Lean meats, fruits, and vegetables. Why lean meats? Well, it's not that beef is evil, but using lean meats allows you to eat more food volume per calorie, if that makes sense, because it's more meat, more protein, less fat. Fruits and veg allow you to eat more food volume per calorie. So during contest prep, do you need fat? Absolutely. And I'm no expert at contest prep, but it's probably a good idea to really, really focus on lean meats, fruits, and vegetables. All this, if it fits your macros crap, needs to go out the window during that time. And then look, what type of cravings are you getting? There's some food volume tricks you can use, depending on if it's savory or sweet. There's my cookbook, which I don't pimp every second of every day like some of you crazy YouTubers over at superlivingtoday.com's got some food volume recipes. So Ruben, I'd be curious to learn more. If you want to talk a little bit more, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman. I can see if I can help at all. Josh Benware, my right hip gives me trouble when squatting free weight. Ongoing problem. I've tried everything. Trash it. Josh, you haven't tried everything, and I'm not being disrespectful. One thing you haven't tried is letting me look at your squat. So I'd like to look at a video. Record it from behind and record it from the side. Make sure you don't get shaky camera, because I have motion sickness issues. If the camera's moving around, I struggle. So please take a video from behind, not with heavy weight, with maybe 60% of your max, doing some reps from behind and from the side. Let me look at form. There's a chance you might be too wide on your form. and knees might be inside of the foot angles. So let me take a look, and I'll see if I can fix it. Comically large chungus. Yeah, I'm planning to wrap before each set. My elbows can get bugged by heavy overhead press. That can be a problem. So yeah, all I was going to say is I've never wrapped elbows, but I would probably wrap before each set, get them nice, tight, and snug, and be prepared to take them off after every set. Guys, I'm going to give away 2 more T-shirts during today's live, so keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. Robert Miller, big, hairy, ugly dude, I have cursed you, thanked you for every workout. That's a good place to be. That love-hate relationship. I know what you mean. Since I started the rep goal system, sometimes it's from the gym floor, joining Team Massive today. Awesome, Robert. Thank you. One thing I miss is the old form I had at Muscle and Brawn. And Team Massive is like getting micro coaching for life for $99 plus a good community. So anybody that's interested, head over to superlivingtoday.com. If you go over to I want to share this with you guys real quick. If you go over to my website, you see Team Massive in the menu, and you get a bunch of free crap. Okay, a private members only server, troll free, groups for every need, 4 free PDS books. You can ask BHUD. You can ask me questions every single day. You can slide into my DM. Form checks, 1 video a week. I can help you with workout customization. If you want to upgrade to coaching, that's there as well. Tons of free stuff. And it's a one-time fee, and you get it as long as I'm alive. So that's rude for me to stay alive. Josh, it's my hip muscle, by the way. Pulled it, strained it years ago. Let me look at it, Josh. Also, when you're squatting, I would say, I don't know that you do this or don't do this, but when you're squatting, think about driving your butthole straight down instead of pushing your hips back or whatever. That might help with, if you have any lean or imbalance, that might help a little bit as well. Comically large chungus, and I'm doing JM press and skull crushers to help my elbows get stronger. If skull crushers bother it at all, make sure you're not doing low rep skull crushers, and maybe try my variation skull destroyers as well. 3 days grace. Thoughts on Alec and Curie's method of escaping from a failed bench, a literal lifesaver? No idea. And I'm not being dismissive. I'm not seeing it. 3 days grace. I will have to hit the old YouTube search after I am done. Nicholas, any thoughts on ectosterone and turkesterone? I know Robert didn't agree. I believe I pulled up the turkesterone information last week. Let me just see if what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Examine. I like to see when I get questions like this because I'm no expert, but I do like to see what examine.com has to say because they are pretty much at the lead. Ectosteroids are a class of hormones, blah, 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 blah. Class of compounds, blah, blah, blah. Level of evidence. Do they actually say anything? Human interventions are lacking and problems with ingestion exist. So the jury's still out, as far as I can tell. It says it's unclear which dose is effective in humans. One study found 60 milligrams daily to be ineffective, though safe over short periods of 8 weeks. Long-term safety concerns and a lack of long-term trials may make short-term use the most sensible policy. So the only thing they really say here is there's not a lot of information. Tread lightly, be careful. Short-term use may be the sensible way. And, what are we trying to achieve here, really? No differences between ectosteroids and placebo in improving lean mass during a weightlifting program. It says see study. Let's see the study. One study, okay? Not enough research. Not enough research. And honestly, this stuff isn't going to help you get to your natural potential. It isn't going to help you get super physiological levels. So I wouldn't spend a dime on it personally. And I don't care who's pushing it. None of this stuff is going to help you get to super physiological levels. And if you're not training hard enough, none of it's going to help you at all. If you are training hard enough, maybe it'll help you get there 0.11111% faster. Would I spend my money on that? Personally, no. The only thing I'd spend my money on is D12 or vitamin D, vitamin B12, and creatine, because creatine's proven. Thanks for the shirt. Maybe you can talk her into coaching. I'll do my best. But I got a special coming up, Paul, and I'm going to be announcing it this weekend. 5 free months, and that's not a gimmick. That's not a gimmick. And I'll explain how it works this weekend. BKS Gaming, I can't really hear the space heater good. I can hear you fine, so I think it's fine good because my microphone's over here. My space heater's over there, so I was hoping that would be the case. Are we supposed to keep the same weight on the deload week? No, if you're going to do a working deload, drop the weight, drop maybe one set per exercise. What I would do is I would drop compounds by one set or down to 2 sets per exercise, and maybe even isolations down to 1 set, and drop the weight a little bit by maybe 15-20%. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of break with volume and a little bit of break with weight. Mike, in your latest video, you mentioned avoiding skipping the gym if you're busy, tired, and just getting 1 or 2 sets per exercise. Would these be heavy working sets or something lighter? Well, just to clarify, Mike, for anybody that's watching, what I'm trying to say is avoid taking a complete week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month off from the gym. So I just want to clarify for anybody watching. A big problem is life gets crazy, school gets crazy, and then people get away from the gym, and then things snowball. Things get out of control in life quickly. You still want to be pushing things. You can either push things or you can just hold them steady, depending on how the week is going. So let's say you're at 225 for 8 on bench for 3 sets, and life kicks you in the balls and you're sleep deprived or whatever. You can go in and just hold steady with 1 set. It would be better to do 1 set of 225 by 8 and get out of the gym than not to train 225 at all, for months. So I hope that makes sense, Mike. I wouldn't go lighter. I'd either hold steady, or if you're feeling the mojo, the juice, just push those sets. Mickey Chan, hello guys. Any exercise you always train explosively? Every compound movement is trained explosively. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't explode a squat out of the hole, it's not coming up. If you don't explode the bench off your chest, it's not coming up. If you don't explode the deadlift, the bar off the floor in deadlifts, it's not coming up. But if you explode the bar on barbell rows or dumbbell rows, somebody shits their pants. So compound movements have to be used explosively. If not, you're not really getting a lot of value out of them. You're not going to be moving as much weight. You're going to be focusing on tempo rather than weight. So it's something people don't understand about training, and it's I'm not putting anybody down, but the big compound movements with a lot of weight, military press, you gotta explode that. That's power generation. If you don't generate power, that rep ain't going up. And the deeper into a set you get, the harder it gets. Stian, do you ship stuff to Norway? I ship stuff everywhere. Everywhere. T-shirts are automated in my system. I have a partnership with Printful. So when you go to my website, superlivingtoday.com, and order, It immediately goes to fulfillment, and they print it on demand, but they're super quick. So it's not like it's going to take 3 weeks. I had one of my Special Olympians ask for a shirt or ask for presents for his birthday, and I sent him a hoodie, a T-shirt, and a muscle shirt, and it was there in like a week. So printed and there in hands. I ship everywhere in the world. Paul, my wife wants you to email her the Black Friday deal. Paul, send me an email. I know I have an email. I have a message from you in my inbox, I believe, and my inbox gets swamped, so I apologize for getting behind on it. But send me a message on that, benthebarman@gmail.com. Me and my wife are going to get the Black Friday deals up this weekend. And I hate to say Black Friday deals, but, that's what everybody does. So really, it's the end of the year. And I like to dig in. I like to work with people in the long term. I had a client this week, Ryan, who has experienced 1.25 inches gains during a year in his arms. And you can only see those kind of results when you're really working with somebody for a very long period of time. You can see things pay off over time. Like the clients that stay with me a long time, they're like, we look back and they're like, wow, my benches really went up. Wow, my arms have been up 1.25 inches. It's a long game. And my coaching is only $80 a month. I don't try to make it outrageous. So I like to work with you guys over the long term. And really the end of the year, the new year's coming up. You guys are going to be taking, trying to rekindle the gains. So I'm going to put together a package that's super aggressive this year because, I want to make it affordable for you guys. There will be 5 months free in coaching with a year commitment, okay, with Team Massive. And I'm not going to lie about that. I have no reason to lie. That's going to be kind of the deal. So watch for that. Devin, love it. Thank you, Devin. Purple Monsters, Purple Monster Majesty. Yep, I got this one, which I'm working on, and this is the backup in case you guys keep me a long time. All right. BKS Gaming. I don't know, you said it already, but who is your favorite baseball team? The Milwaukee Brewers. Born and raised in that area. Always been a Brewers fan. Always will be a Brewers fan. But I'm a baseball fan. Me and my wife have tickets, not complete season tickets, but, partial season tickets to the Dayton Dragons, which are an affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds. I think entry-level affiliate. I like baseball. I just like the sport. So what do we got here? Javed Ram Saran. Hope I pronounced that correctly. How do you deal with knee pain from sitting too long? Good question. A lot of if you got knee pain from sitting too long, the best, like me, I can just be ramming away at hours at a time and not even realize it. I set timers on things. Like I will do 20 client messages and then I'll kind of stretch. So I have some kind of a marker or time thing where I can stretch. It would help to get up and just even move around your office for a few minutes. Jeremy, 1 to 2 examples of before bed meals you recommend. All right, so it really depends on, are you cutting and not trying to go to bed hungry? Or, are you building muscle? Doesn't really matter, I guess. Here's a couple, Jeremy. And these are in my sexy cookbook over at superlivingtoday.com. I think I've sold 10 of them. So it is what it is, but it contains meals I actually eat. One thing I like to do, Jeremy, is I like to get 2 or 3 really large tomatoes and dice them up. Put in a plain Greek yogurt, Frank's Red Hot, and salt. It's a huge amount of food. And it satisfies that savory chip craving for me because it's spicy and it's salty. Really does a trick. Frank's Red Hot really does a trick. If you want sweet, you can take flavored Greek yogurt and add all the fruit you want. Or, this is kind of a little bit more scandalous, You can take sugar-free pudding, 1 or 2 packs, and add in a scoop of casein or whey. Casein if you're a musclehead, casein if you're not a musclehead, whatever you have around. Mix it in there and just make sure you have enough water. Let it set. It's kind of like magical muscle building ice cream. It's not ice cream, but it's a hell of a lot lower calories than ice cream, and you got a lot of protein in there. It's enjoyable to eat, So those are 2 meals, meal-ish that I have later at night that aren't super high in calories but satisfying and high in protein. Justin P. Can you do squats with a low box to make sure you get to depth every rep? Yep. You sure can. It can be a tool to help you learn depth and proper depth. Absolutely. I would also, Justin, send a video to me. I'd be happy to take a look. And if you guys want to be able to send ongoing videos to me, head over to superlivingtoday.com and sign up for Team Massive. Osama, my incline bench has been the same for 5 months, but my flat bench is increasing. Any advice? I'd like to see your numbers, and I'd like to get more information. So I'd be curious how your pressing numbers are doing, your overhead pressing numbers, Osama. How's your dumbbell bench overhead? Or not dumbbell bench, dumbbell overhead press. How's your barbell overhead press? How's your weight gain been the last 5 months? How's your tricep plan of attack? That sort of thing. So it would really take more information for me to peek under the hood and really make an intelligent response. You can head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, send a question, or sign up for Team Massive. Shuinhu, ho, he, who. Are submaximal lifts effective to build muscle? I'm in a program right now with 6 weeks mesocycle that sets our. Look, I'm not a fan of this at all. I'm just not. 3 reps in reserve. What is that even doing for you? Me and Geoffrey, Verity, Schofield talk about that in the upcoming podcast. What is that even doing for you? I'm just going to say I'm not a fan. I program differently. I have a different set of philosophies. I don't like all this mesocycles, reps in reserve bullshit. I think it's just overthinking. It's like a shiny turd. It looks shiny from a distance, but the closer you get, it smells like shit. And look, that's going to piss somebody off, and somebody's going to send it to the guy that wrote the program. I'm not saying this is a bad program, okay? Let's clarify. I'm not saying you can't get stuff out of it. I just don't like programs like that. And we'll just have to agree to disagree. Like 3 reps in reserve, what value are you getting out of that? In the bigger context, maybe there's some 1 rep in reserve or what. All right. Just not a fan. Use one of my programs. Tom Saunders, do you do any 50, 100, 200 sprints? I don't like sprinting at all. I'm not a fan of sprinting at all. I think there's too much risk for the reward. In running training, I do surge training or speed ups. Basically, you have, let's put it this way, and this is a dumbed down way that I look at things. Zone 1, walking. Zone 2, running at conversational pace, running as slow as you can, but still maintaining the running, and you can hold a conversation. Zone 3 is a speed up. 1 zone and speed below a sprint, and zone 4 is a sprint. I don't like sprinting at all. I do not. I just think there's too much risk for the reward. Zone 3 is about as far as I would go, and then I'd use speed ups. I don't think there's value for the average individual in doing sprint training. And I'm a seasoned old man, and some of you younger guys will be like, I'm fine. You are fine. You are fine. But I just don't think in the long run it has value. I'd rather see you doing zone 3 training where you're just a gear below sprinting. That's my opinion. My opinion. And I have a right to my opinion, and you guys can disagree if you want. I certainly did some sprint stuff when I was younger in my early and mid-20s. I just don't think for the average person it has much value. It's just too dangerous. Ace Bright, happy Friday. What's going on, Ace? Mickey Chan. Mickey Chan, you just won a t-shirt. I just randomly decided that Mickey Chan wins a t-shirt. Mickey, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, and slide in my DM or email me, benthebarman@gmail.com. I'll send you a t-shirt. I'm very weak in the rep range of 8 to 12 in exercises like squat, bench, and chin-ups. Should I overcome it or avoid it? Don't avoid it. That's usually a sign you're doing too many low rep sets. Squats, I don't have my clients doing a lot of stuff over 10 to 12 or 10 to 12 rep range, maybe one set a week on average-ish. Bench, I don't work a lot in the 8 to 12 rep range. I in the 10, yeah, but I have an advanced bench program that we do a little bit more volume. But yeah, don't fight it. You're doing too many low rep sets, and you don't have the work capacity, so I wouldn't fight it. I would add some in. Billy Batson, thoughts on using belt squat to work legs without loading the spine? Awesome. Absolutely. I think it's a good variation. I have more than a few clients that use it. As long as the setup is good, you get nice, good control, and you enjoy the lift, by all means, do so. James, do you have any bro split programs available on superlivingtoday.com? Yes, I do. And let me just show you guys real quick. Super Living. We got to go back. Okay, so you go to workouts. And I got a ton of tabs. There's actually 2 pages, okay? So Massive Iron, my book over here, has some splits. I need to update it a little bit. And I have I have the where are you? Okay, go over to the store and do courses, okay? And check out the Power Muscle Block course or the Bulldozer Training course. Those are the 2 big hitters. Those are 2 courses filled with workouts that are probably your best option to experiment with bro splits and hypertrophy. So I hope that helps. They're under the store and they're under courses. If you can't find them, just search course in the old handy dandy search and they'll pop up first. Okay. All right. Jeff Williamson, YouTube did not post my question. Sorry. And I think somebody on Instagram posted a question. Let me check. If it doesn't post, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, and slide into my DM. And I thought I had a question. I guess not. Maybe I'm seeing things. And I'll answer your questions. Jeff Williamson, daylight savings year or day. Hate it. I hate losing an hour during winter. I really do. Especially as a runner. Zed, so try DMing him on Instagram. That's a good way to get it through. All right, Fish Edits. I just want to complete my workout. Thanks for the answer, BHUD. You bet. BKS Gaming, Team Massive, represent. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Nigel, no PR attempt today. Sticking to programming. Got to trust the program. Which program you're running, Nigel? Let me know. All right, James. We have 1 t-shirt left to go, and we're 50 minutes in, so keep the questions coming, guys. All right, if you could choose one person from the bodybuilding or powerlifting industry to have on your podcast, who would it be? Someone you idolize. That would be Tom Platz, and I got to hit him up. I haven't even thought about it, to be honest with you. Tom is somebody I've idolized for a very long time as a bodybuilder. As a person, he seems reasonable and intelligent and well-balanced. So I'd like to have him on. I've trained with Ronnie Coleman. I've got to meet guys like Jay Cutler and interview guys like Frank Zane. And even Phil Heath follows me on Instagram. That's kind of a cool thing. So, yeah, Tom Platz. All right, I got a question from the gram. Hi, Steve. I have a question. Have you ever heard of DUP strength programming? Yes, I have. I've heard of everything. I believe, let me find the article. DUP Tiger Fitness. Search Google DUP Tiger Fitness. Hold on. Let me just try DUP Tiger Fitness. I think I have an article over there. I wrote articles on everything over the years. So hold on, guys. I have an article on concurrent periodization over at Tiger Fitness. I've done so much content that sometimes I can't remember where it is. So please forgive me. I'm going to search Massive Iron YouTube and then DUP. And let me see. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I literally have so many articles and videos. I can't remember where. Let me find it. But I have a video or article somewhere on DUP. So, yes, I know it. Nigel, I would use ectosterone so long as it came from with my duck eggs from Mycotrend. That's about how I feel about it. Jeff, thanks. All right, what do we got? Nicholas, thoughts on Mind Pump Live podcasts? They recently got my attention. People have been asking me about it, and I just I don't have time, to be honest with you. I've not dived into it yet, so have at it. I don't have time. Looks like they got 1,500 episodes. They've been ramming it for quite a while. Good for them. I really have limited free time, so I focus it on. I only watch a few YouTube videos. Guys like Faz and Geoffrey, Verity, Schofield. Nigel, Yellowstone season 4. You watching? No, I heard about Yellowstone, but I have not dove into it yet. Rafael de Souza, is a seated cable machine chest press less effective than the flat bench? It's not at the same intensity level, but that doesn't mean it's not a good exercise. Is it a replacement? Are we talking about the plate-loaded machine chest press? I have no problem with you using it other than the bench press, but I would still have dumbbell bench in the mix. If you truly want hypertrophy, I would do dumbbell bench and I would do plate-loaded machine chest press. Plate-loaded. But I would have to know, Raphael. It really depends on the overall impact of the program and the structure of the program. Are there any mandatory lifts like bench press? No. Is it better or less effective? I don't like looking at exercises generally like that. I like to look at the context of the overall program. I think it depends on really the machine. In most cases, the bench press is one of the top tier exercises, but you could get a lot out of a plate loaded bench as well. And if you combine that with a dumbbell bench, and then things like my favorite dips and push-ups superset, and maybe ram out at the end with pec deck, you're probably doing pretty good. Felix 79, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Josh, will the Black Friday deal go to current clients? Absolutely. Current clients, one of the things I was asking my wife is, like, one thing I'll never do is insult my current clients by giving a discount to new clients, because those that are with me are the people I value the most. Those are my people. And what I will do is offer deals that my current clients can also save money on. So my current clients, 100%. And I'll explain the deal a little bit this weekend after I get the page up, because it's going to be, I'm going to create an actual new service for this, because I have to set it up as a recurring. So we'll talk about that. It's basically going to be pay for a year up front, okay? And we can work out. For current clients, we can work out some deals, and maybe get around that. But it's basically going to be pay for 10 months, get 12 months, and then 3 in addition. So basically, you're going to be paying upfront for a year, but only paying for 10 months. And then you get 3 months tacked on. So you basically get 15 months for the price of 10, if that makes sense. B-Crow, should I replace unilateral leg work with more back squats if I'm still trying to build a strength base? Not necessarily. It depends on the context of the program. You want to have quad development outside of squats in your program. There was a post, I believe, Brad Schoenfeld this week, where it was comparing, I believe Brad Schoenfeld, it could have been somebody else, comparing quad size from leg press to squats. And I believe leg press was actually more quad focused. That doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to get more quad development from leg press, because they might not be equal exercises. Squats might be up here, leg press might be down there. So leg press might be more quad focused, or squat might be less quad focused, but it's still more of an impactful exercise. So understand that. I'm not saying this is one study to rule them all. With that said, you want to be doing exercises that are more quad focused other than squats to help with quad strength. And that will help with your squats, and that'll help with your deadlift. That makes sense. Unilateral stuff, my first choice is lunges or reverse lunges. After that, maybe Bulgarian split squats. I prefer lunges, though. But do what you want to do. I've never liked the feel of a single leg press, but at the end of the day, if you have a well-rounded program, and you don't like lunges, you like Bulgarian split squats, let it rip. Mystery judge, jury, executioner. Will creatine be available at some point in the future? No. I have some left, like 20, but I just don't have time to do it solo. BKS Gaming. I don't really watch baseball, but go Twins. Also Vikings. Minnesota sports teams are cursed. Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, so you guys are a rival in football. To a degree in baseball. When we play in baseball, you all come down and invade Wisconsin. All right, let me get a drink. We're about an hour in. All right, so we've got about an hour in, guys. Post up your questions. I'll get to everything. I'll stay on as long as you have questions. And we did this one already. Sorry, Justin. Is drinking a lot of water during workout normal? Well, it really depends. If it's hot, yeah. I mean, real hot conditions, I drink a lot during workouts and runs. The only thing I'd say is, just make sure if it's hot or you find yourself drinking a lot of water during a workout, that maybe you hit some electrolytes before that workout. Dragos, I'm going to give you a t-shirt. Head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, slide into my DM. I'll get you information, send you a t-shirt. You can email me at benthebarman@gmail.com as well. So, how many sets per exercise to get 90% of gains? I don't want to do more sets for a small increase in gains. It's really about making the sets count. So in my world, I generally like you to start with about 10 to 12 sets for major muscle group and around 6 for minor, and maximizing that. In my world, that comes out to about 72 sets, hard sets per week. And it's easier to do that with 4 workouts per week. Raphael White, I just wanted to say thanks. Thank you. Been doing an upper-lower AB split as per your advice the past 6 months and having amazing results. That's what I love to hear, and I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to actually chime in and give me some feedback. And Dragos, I just got you. Thank you. Dragos is already on the ball on Instagram. I got an Instagram question as well from W. Baker 0621. Hey, Steve, question isn't going through on YouTube. I'm curious when you think belts should be incorporated into squats or deadlifts. Good question. When your form is good, when your form is blessed by the Pope of squatting or deadlifting, be it me or another reputable coach, when you are bracing properly before each rep, then you can, if you can't brace properly without a belt, you can't brace properly with a belt. Does that make sense? So first, you want to make sure your form's good. Second, you want to make sure you're bracing. And then from there, if you want to play around with a belt, by all means do so. Mitch Swim on Instagram. You missed my questions a few times. When are the Massive Strength and the Plus One books coming out? We're trying to find some time. Behind the scenes, I'm working on them right now. The pandemic crushed me. It did, because I got back from Scotland last January, and all of a sudden, all my clients lost their gym access. I had to make tons of new programs for people, and it's been ongoing. It's been a lot of stress for everyone, and I'm thankful for my clients, and I do everything for my clients. Building new workouts is part of what I do and part of my service. But man, as the pandemic stressed us all, and I'm hoping to get back to it now that things are settling down a little bit. All right. And Dragos, I see your messages on Instagram. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, as soon as the live video is done. Just send me your complete name, address, phone number, all your mailing information. All right, James, do you think direct ab work is essential? No, I do not. Can it have value? Yeah. Do you need probably a minimum level of ab strength? Yes. What would that be? Planks or shoulder tap planks to a reasonably functional degree. Ab wheel rollouts for a couple sets of 15. You got some, some base strength levels on that, and you're probably good. There's no need to over focus on it. Like I got to do 1 million sets of abs each week, or I'm not going to see my six pack. Use a rep range to achieve your goal. Be as strong as possible in the range with progressions while getting volume you need for like a month. Then deload, change exercise, and do it again. Did I get this right? You don't need to change exercises. You don't need to deload after a month. No, you don't need to do any of that. A good program is going to have some exercise variety. If you want to rotate in some new exercises to try things, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to deload every month. I'm a fan of more intuitive deloading. Billy Batson, are assisted pull-ups effective at trying to build pull-up strength? So you guys, I want you to check out my podcast over at superlivingtoday.com, a podcast episode with McAnimal. He is a calisthenics expert, and he recommends that you try to build your pull-ups with bands, okay? Not just the machine assisted, but rather bands. So I would check that out. Check that out. If you're trying to build up your pull-ups, I would use band assisted rather than machine assisted if you could. And if you're around 250 pounds, man, the only thing I can say is that's going to be real slow progress. I'm not telling you to lose weight, not telling you what to do with your life, but you're gonna see slow progress. That's the reality at that weight. Or stick with body weight until reps are higher. At too clean pull-ups, you're not getting a lot of value out of it. What do we got here? BKS Gaming. Yeah, O'Malley had a joke. Sorry, Big Lenny, the Tom Platz of abs. Yeah, something like that. Have you ever used a belt machine squat? Yeah, I've used pretty much everything. We had a belt machine squat at Tiger Fitness. The issue I don't like with some of them is the one there, you had to get down low and hook it up and then squat out of the hole. I don't like that at all. Don't like that at all. So really it depends on the machine. 3 days grace. I'm about 5 months into lifting, following a basic double progression. My back movements haven't progressed in the past 2 weeks. How to increase volume? If your back workouts, if you're not getting any plus ones in 3 weeks, something's going on. So 3 days, I would like to see your back numbers, what numbers you have, what lifts you're doing, if you've hit any plus ones. I'd also like to know your weight and are your calories consistent. You don't have to do that here, but head over to Instagram, Up in the Barman. Thoughts on Jeff Nippert? I don't really follow him too much. Obviously, I know of him. And seems like a fine chap. But Fishouts went on to say, currently running his free push-pull legs routine. I really want you to run my routine. How about that? Helena Handbasket. Just listen to your I don't want to hear your excuses rant going in the gym this morning, PR and squats. Not huge numbers, but still adding at age 52. You're a great motivator, mate. Keep it up. Thank you. And one of the keys to success is trying to connect each day with things that keep you focused. We call it cultivating motivation. Do you have to listen to the big, hairy, ugly dude? Obviously not. Your mom would say it's a good idea, though. But you want to connect daily with things that keep you focused on your goals. If your goals are really important to you, watch a video. Read a book. Do something. Join Team Massive. Be around things that keep you focused and motivated. Mickey Chan, thanks for the shirt. My pleasure. Johnny Miles, can I do overhead press same day as bench? You can, depending on the structure of the program. The only thing I will say is if you do them both on the same day, I would probably alternate week in and week out with which lift leads the dance. So 1 week I'd start with bench, the other week I'd start with overhead press. Zed, I'm usually pretty calm and focused when lifting, but yesterday I went to a dark place, got angry, and PR'd. Thoughts on lifting with emotion? 100%. Lifting is a good way to release stress, and there are long periods of time when I was lifting that I took every last bit of rage or anger I've had for any reason in my life and I put it into the weights. And that's a good way to, there's nothing wrong with putting it into that funnel. Paul Velasquez, will coaching include Team Massive? Yes. Anybody that signs up to coaching gets Team Massive for life if they want it. Nigel, right now doing pen and paper strength periodic table of thickness, 4-day-a-week program, focused on dead, squat, bench, overhead. Yeah, look, those types of programs are lacking for hypertrophy. You need more exercise variety. They mean well, but are they the best hypertrophy programs? No. You need deadlift stuff. You probably need maybe some machine stuff, maybe some body weight stuff, like dips. And ultimately, I'd prefer you use a program like that or one of mine. Use one of mine. BKS Gaming. Can I use ring dips? Yep, to replace regular dips and eventually add weight. Sure, you can. You can get one of those super expensive, things where you can add weight, body weight, or weight, or you can use a backpack. I forget what they're called. You know what I mean. Miguel, is the barbell hack squat a half squat? No, it's not. The barbell hack squat is an option you can do at home. That's with the bars on the ground behind you. Doesn't always feel the greatest, but it is definitely an option. Not a hack squat. Bob Thornton says, let's go, Brandon. What's up, Billy Bob? Thoughts on reverse grip from user123. Thoughts on reverse grip dumbbell bench. I'm not laughing at you. I've never seen it done. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even try it. Sounds dangerous. Maybe somebody does it that I don't know. Maybe somebody that benches 800 pounds does it. If you can do it and feels good, give it a try. I hate reverse grip bench. So doing a reverse grip dumbbell bench where you're not forced into a plane, that just sounds a little bit scary to me. BKS Gaming, I order all of these for samples and an 11-pound bag of strawberry cream, even though I've never tried it before. All these for samples. I'm not sure what you're referencing, BKS Gaming. Maybe give me a follow-up. What's going on, Rico? Happy Massive Iron family. Nate Williamson, I'm getting sore bicep tendons and elbows since I started adding Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu into my lifting. Is there a way to strengthen them, or is this a sign I need to rest? It could be some overuse or just some building up of your work capacity or general strengthening. I'm not sure how many days a week you go, but you might need to just be real cautious. Maybe ease into things just a little bit more slowly or pull back maybe one workout a week. How to get your bench from 225 to 275. The fastest way is to head over to superlivingtoday.com. Go over to store. Go over to the search. Just hit bench. Okay? Hit bench. The first thing that pops up is the bench press course. And I got all these other things, but they're going to be included in the bench press course. It gives you tons of bench programs to tinker around with. Short of bringing me on as a coach, this is a really good value. If you guys want some bench programs, head over to my website, search bench. It's not a bajillion dollars. It's only $14.99. All right, Zed. I've seen your style of dumbbell row where you exploded off the floor. Do you just prefer it that way? Well, first off, the dumbbell row and the barbell row put a lot of stress on the lower back. So by temporarily setting the weight down in between reps, you're going to relieve some of that pressure, which I believe is a good thing, especially as you're getting stronger. Exploding it really is just part of the lift. The guys that are like super slow on their dumbbell rows, that's all good and well. But if you did that on your bench press, super slow, you're never really going to build a lot of strength. Your focus is on speed rather than strength. I see somebody doing 60s or 70s on dumbbell row with that slow speed. They got, they could be doing 120s. That's my preferred way. You explode the bar off your chest on bench. Why not explode the bar off the ground on rows with good form, driving your elbows and shoulders back? I like to get strong, so that's why I do it. Thoughts on Yates rows and Yates shrugs? Some of my clients do Yates rows. I'm not against them. I think it can be a good part of a solid program as long as they feel good to you. Can I get similar gain in mass if I do squats where barbell is attached to a vertical bar? Like a Smith machine? It would depend on the totality of your program, honestly. So if you want to send your program to me at Ben the Barman on Instagram, I'd be happy to take a look. All right, let me get a drink, guys. Keep the questions coming. I'll stay on as long as you guys got questions. Matt Deep, CPA. One of my favorite people on planet Earth and a new client. Thank you, Matt, for allowing me to help you. Just want to say hi and appreciate everything you put out there. You guys, if you have financial questions or want to follow a good CPA, I would recommend following Matt on YouTube. Matt knows his stuff, and he's legit and somebody I trust and respect. Nicholas, thoughts on bad exercises behind the neck press, side bends, machine squats? Athlete Next says no. Look, I'm going to be honest. It's time that certain coaches just fall by the wayside. Behind the neck press is fine, executed properly. Just don't take the bar below about the top of your ears. Have wrists over elbows. You're going to be good. Side bends, it's exercise for, it's really exercise by exercise case. Side bends, I don't like. Machine squats or Smith squats, They can be part of a good program if done correctly. I'd rather see you do machine or Smith squats rather than overhead press. I always find the Smith overhead press to be a little bit too stressful on the system, but mileage may vary. Billy Batson, in your experience, can the back, particularly upper and mid back, take more volume than the front of your body? Yep. The back is a big, strong group of muscles, and it can usually take a big beating, just like the triceps. I believe the back of your body generally can take more punishment than the front of your body, excluding hamstrings and quads. I think the quads obviously can take more of a beating than the hamstring. But like triceps, back, traps, even glutes, pretty strong muscle groups. Eric, forearms giving up before biceps on bicep curls. How to solve the problem? That's a sit-through problem, Eric, and I'm about to swear, so anybody that's listening can turn down the live feed so they don't shock the children or the wife. That's a suck it the fuck up problem. Okay, I'm not putting you down, Eric, but you have a weakness. You just got to fight through. If you have forearm pain, forearm soreness, or forearm burning, that's just a weakness. You're going to have to fight through. Just keep fighting. The only way to solve that problem is not around the mountain, but over the mountain. You just keep fighting. It's going to get better. Giannis, thoughts on the JM press? It's a very interesting variation. I've given it to many of my clients over the years as an option. Maybe a third really like it and 2/3 don't like it. So it's an exercise that can be punishing or unforgiving to many people. Just keep that in mind. But it's certainly worth trying. Fish edits, yeah, considering buying one of your routines. Any particular routine that you favor more? Depends on what kind of split you like. Massive iron's a good start. I have a good A-B split, a good push-pull leg split. The courses, if you want body part splits, are over there. And if you want me to build you a workout from the ground up, that's an option as well. I'm actually going to be putting that as a Black Friday special. And I have 2 services. One, I build you a workout. 2, and with that workout, I give you a complete plan of attack. What to do to build most muscle over the coming year, 2 years. How to cut, how to handle bulking and cutting, all that kind of good stuff. And there's a service that also comes with a complete body assessment, like body fat assessment. It's a little bit more, but those are going to be on sale from now until the rest of the year. So keep an eye out for that. Billy Batson, is 10 full body weight at 250 strong? Yeah, if we're talking pull-ups, 100%. But Billy B, you can't be air braking on your pull-ups halfway down. You have to come all the way down. Oscar Tan, why did my right shoulder hurt after heavy benching? My friends experience it too. If your friends are experiencing it, you might want to check to see if the bench is level. If there's an oddity in your bench, if the seat's unlevel, or if the ground's unlevel. Beyond that, it would just be a fluke. It could be form. I'd have to take a look at your form. That's the first place you have to look when troubleshooting any pain from a big lift. So I'd be happy to take a look if you want to send that over. Helena Handbasket, tendonitis left elbow still bothering me for 2 months. Had ultrasound is healing slowly. This is one of the most common questions I get. And guys, I can't stress this enough. VersaGrip Pros, VersaGrip Pros, VersaGrip Pros, VersaGrip Pros. Head over to my website. Okay. I like this so much, I got it on my website for reference. Search Versa, V-E-R-S-A. Versa, V-E-R-S-A. And it has the VersaGrip Pros. This is what you want. I like them so much, I keep this as a reference so you can view it on Amazon. And I'm not making it fat stacks on Amazon. I think I made $20 in 10 years. So all the gripping we do during back work. Think of this: tennis elbow, golfer's elbow. They call it that. Why? Because you're gripping during tennis and golf. You're gripping during your back work. This is a common injury, and the best way to get rid of it or take care of it or aid it is with VersaGrip Pro. So I cannot stress this enough. Mine are 13 years old and still holding up. $60 investment, but they will last you a long time. I can't stress getting these enough. Martin, weight was original Stein, but not first or even here today. Stein was first. Stian said he was going to beat him, but Stein crushed him. Billy Batson, have you ever experienced or had any clients with non-painful snapping hip syndrome? Like a popping of the hip? No. I don't know anything about snapping hip syndrome, but I'm curious if it's a tendon popping and if you have some sort of mild impingement. Eric, how to get your barbell row up to 405 pounds? Trenbolone sandwiches. Excuse me. It's pretty rare. I got up to 4 or 5 by 5 when I was a fat ass at 346 pounds, but holy bejesus, is that tough. Not many people will get up there. Not many people want to get up there. That's going to require a lot of training over a long period of time and probably some extra body weight. BKS Gaming, which flavor sounds best for protein powder? Chocolate smooth. I don't like chocolate. I don't like mint. That could be hit or miss. That could be hit or miss without a sample. Chocolate brownie, that sounds interesting. The basic chocolate flavors to me are like, they're all the same, right? Chocolate brownie sounds sexy. Strawberry cream, if you like strawberry, that probably sounds okay. Vanilla, hard to mess up vanilla, but I've seen it a couple times. And salted caramel. I've tried a few salted caramel protein powders. Most times it tasted like ass. So mileage may vary. All right. Squat versus Smith machine. How much difference in terms of muscle mass and strength gains? Well, I don't have the information on the Smith machine squat to see where the focus is. I would imagine you can make it more quad focused. Really, when it comes down to questions like this, my answer is both. Do both. Leg press. If I was in a gym with all that stuff right now, I'd be doing squats, hack squats, leg presses, lunges. I like sissy squats. I do those at home. And maybe I'd even tinker around with Smith squats, 1 or 2, to see if I could get some good quad feel. User 1, 2, 3, easy bar, reverse grip bench. I don't know. Now we're getting all kinds of funky. Buffalo, Sabskis. I never asked you if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ever have any quad tendon pain? I do dumbbell lunges, 3 sets of 5 days a week. Took a few days off and felt great, but woke up 2 a.m. and it's really bothering me. Is it right above the knee or really deep inside the quad or at the top? I don't know. Let me know. I've not experienced it. I've not come across anybody that had that type of injury. If dumbbell lunges are contributing to that, or you feel they are, I would pull back on the frequency because you might be risking some overuse injury. Relative strength. Hi, I've been training 2 years and I'm at a 300-pound bench. Nice job. 225 overhead press. Nice job. 220 at 6 foot. Nice job. Not being too heavy as well. Would it be unreasonable to hit a 350 bench in my lifetime? 150%. If you can get to a 300-pound bench after 2 years, unless you face some random unfortunate occurrence, there's a really good chance you could hit 350 very, very soon. I have a really good bench program that I give clients. If you like training, man, I'd love to work with somebody like you that, is really rocketing up, but you're kind of hitting those stages that is a little bit more challenging. But yeah, you can get there. You're all shook up. 2 days a week. How many exercises do I do per day? 6. If you're training 2 days a week, you want to get the most value out of that time. So generally about 70 minutes is how I try to program the limit for clients, give or take. In that time, you can probably do 16-ish. I would start with 16 hard sets, 30, 32 hard sets a week, and then you got to slice and dice it, on how to slice and dice that up per body part. Anyone on the fence? This is from Richard Murray about Team Massive. Don't delay. Join today. Motivation on top. Have a great weekend, sir. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate that. You're all shook up like dead bench, pull-ups, dips, bicep curls. Don't over-focus on barbell movements. If you want hypertrophy or muscle building, you want barbell and dumbbell and maybe even a few body weight exercises. If you'd like me to build you a program, I can do that. If you want more suggestions, really the biggest suggestion would be to work in some dumbbell exercises. If I were going to do it, I'd probably do 2 sets of bench, and then the other day 2 sets of dumbbell bench. One day I'd probably do 2 sets of dumbbell rows. The other day I'd probably do 2 sets of something like barbell rows. I'd probably do 2 sets per exercise and get a little variety in there. 10 full body weight dips. Oh, yeah, that's good. I won't argue with that. You're all shook up. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Johnny Miles, Super Green supplements. Your opinion on these? I know Robert Shinetsky never liked them. Look, I'm not a big fan. I'm just not. Eat your plant-based foods, your fruits and veg. Can you use it as a backup plan in a pinch, or if you don't have access to a lot of veg, or you don't like to eat a lot of veg or whatever, or you're just concerned about your health in general, go ahead. But, I wouldn't use it as a complete replacement for veg. Mystery, judge, jury, executioner, I was squatting sore. That can be okay. Just listen to your body. Nicholas, thoughts on Terminator, Dark Fate? I still prefer the first two, than Dark Fate and Genesis. Man, I got to get caught up. Honestly, I need to rewatch everything from the start. We've been doing that with some of the classic movies lately, just kind of rewatching them. So honestly, man, I got to get caught up. You guys can chime in and let me know what you think, though. Mystery judge, jury, executioner. I was squatting sore and felt something like a pop in my hamstring. Any thoughts? A pop is usually connective tissue, and that's something that could be minor, nothing major, or it could be something major. If it's just a little pop, and or it could be a tear. If it's just a little pop and everything feels good, like a week later, you're probably good to go. If not, you definitely need to see a doctor. BKS Gaming, definitely need to get some VersaGrip Pros. I'm currently using straps. People ask me, how do VersaGrip Pros compare to straps? Straps are not even in the same league. VersaGrip Pros are so much easier to lock in and so much more durable. Billy Batson, the snapping in the hip sounds like the tendon is snapping over. I can usually hear it snap when I abduct my leg. Yeah, it sounds like you have some sort of a funky impingement. Mr. Buffalo, right above the knee. All right, that sounds like knee tendonitis. I'm 31 and skateboarded and played hockey for 20 years. Lunges, how do you do like on leg extensions and leg press? You're all shook up. Thanks for the advice. Thank you. I appreciate your support. And Neo from Minnesota. How's it going, Neo? Neo's a client of mine. Skip Star Wars 1 through 3 and 7 through 9. Thanks, Neo. Rico, are you out of massive iron hoodies? It's not allowing me to order one. Let me check. Rico, I don't think so. It could be a size problem. Hold on. Let's see. Store. Apparel. Rico, which one are you looking at here? All right, let's pull this up. Share screen. We'll problem solve live. We got the massive iron hoodie. And let's see. 3X, 2X, XL, add to cart, view cart, and checkout. Looks good to me. Rico, hit me up. Hit me up. Could be your computer. If you can't get it to work, I'll send you one for free. How about that? Neo, VersaGrips are awesome. I bought them per Steve's advice. I'm glad you did. They're a lifesaver. Guys, I have 2 questions left. We're an hour and 30 minutes in. I'm going to jump off. Last call for questions. Get them in now, or else we will be out of here. Raphael, Thanksgiving and Christmas is the best time of year to bulk. Not aggressive, but moderate. I would agree. When you're bulking guys, I want you to gain about 1.5 pounds a month max. So don't get more than aggressive than that. If you do, you're just asking for trouble. You're gaining more fat than muscle, and it's just a silly waste of time. All right, Rico, I just tried putting one in my cart and it worked fine. So let me know. Where are you at, Rico? Just hit me up on Instagram or hit me up on email, benthebarman@gmail.com. We'll get it sorted after the live video. Andreas, when using VersaGrips, do you also wrap your thumb around the bar? You don't have to. Sometimes on some lifts, I do what they call the suicide grip or the thumbless grip. It depends on the exercise. I can literally do a 200-pound dumbbell row without my thumb around on VersaGrips. I can row like that. And sometimes I do it to relieve the gripping pressure. So, yeah, you can absolutely do that. If that feels comfortable, that's fine. Johnny Miles, how does it feel to help people with great advice? You know what, Johnny? In all sincerity, when I was in college, I didn't finish college because I liked lifting too much. I would rather lift. I would rather sleep than go to class. And it caused me to not get a degree and caused me a lot of time in blue-collar jobs. It really, really did. So to be out of the blue-collar industry, to be out of the blue-collar realm and to do this for a living, man, I appreciate it every single day. I do. I appreciate every person that comments on here, every person that supports me. I've never been, just a natural. I've never been natural at any of this speaking or lifting. I just fucking love it. And I appreciate everybody around me that just loves it. So, Andreas, how long did it take for you to lose weight and get your current shape? About 4 years. The first 2 years, I went from 346 to 246. And, I just focused on lean meats, fruits, and vegetables. And after the next 2 years was refinement, holding my weight steady and doing a little bit of recomp. Now, I was gaining back some muscle I lost during the process and gaining back some strength I lost in the process. But it was about 4 years. Neo, dude, you were there on a math scholarship. Crazy world. That's what you do. You blow it away. Mystery judge, jury, executioner. It was a small pop and no pain. Thank you. Being a mentor on this thing called YouTube. Thank you. All right, guys, we are out of here. Hour and 34 minutes. I appreciate it. Just a reminder, all of these appear over on my podcast, superlivingtoday.com. The live videos go over my podcast. Please check out my podcast on Monday with GVS, Geoffrey, Verity, Schofield. It's 80 minutes of pure bliss. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And you guys, if I missed any of your questions, head over to Instagram at BenTheBarman or slide into my email at benthebarman@gmail.com. Head over to superlivingtoday.com and sign up for coaching. It's only $80 a month, and I'll give you everything I got. And we are out of here.